Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Friday. It's Friday. Everybody made it to Friday. Yay! Oh, we're here with Aloha Oracle Friday. And first and foremost, pardon my hair. My hair has now reached this awkward stage where it's like, I don't know, it's weird. I have naturally curly hair, but for some reason right now it's in this like, I want to be straight, wavy, and curly face. So it's like, so this is what happened. But anyways, it's Oracle Friday. Welcome. So yeah, let me read the Oracle guidelines and then we'll get to the Angel Answer cards. And I got a few decks here today, but I always start with the Angel Answer deck because, while I wait for people to come on. But there's usually some good messages in there too. So for anybody who normally comes here Monday through Friday, I dedicate Friday to, or Monday through Thursday. Those are usually subjects. Friday I utilize as Oracle Day. It started off back in October. One of my friends really liked it and said, hey, you should do this every Friday. So that's what it is. So, okay. Number 1, do not worry where the message is coming from. I only work from a good place. So if you're seeing this, there's a reason you are here. Number 2, do not make a card fit your question if it does not resonate with you. Forcing an outcome or an answer not meant for you can cause unnecessary stress and overthinking. Number 3, I will give you the message I receive and the message from the book because someone took the time to write it and put it together. All right, so the reason I have guidelines is because if I don't, I ramble. So let's get going. Let's get glowing. All right, so. All right, let's see. Ooh, all right, there's one. Let's see. This is the only deck I don't use the book on unless I feel absolutely necessary because this really is just a card or a deck to, okay, there they are. Get people going while I wait for people to come on. So there we go. We got our 5 or 6. I don't know how many there are. Usually I go for 5, but there are 6. All right, let's see what we can do with these. You know what? I'm just going to give them a quick shuffle. I don't know how they came out of the deck. I haven't even seen. I saw them fly out of the deck, but let's see what we got here. Number 1, don't stop. All right, don't stop. So whatever it is you're doing, keep doing it. Keep going. If it feels right, then you are headed in the right direction. But do not stop. If you need to take a moment, to take a break and take a breather, that's fine. But don't sit so long that you grow roots. Don't, keep moving. Keep moving forward. All right, number 2, big happy changes. So when you don't stop and you keep moving forward, big happy changes are coming. All right, so if you're feeling stuck or you're feeling a little overwhelmed or you're feeling like nothing is going to get better, ta-da! Big happy changes are coming. Number 3, trust. Big happy changes can only come when you trust and have faith that everything is going to work out. When we don't trust and we don't have faith that everything's going to work out, that's when everything kind of goes askew, right? Everything goes sideways. And then we wonder, what the hell happened? You're not trusting. I struggle with trust, so I understand that one. 4, ask your angels. So if you're into that, ask your angels, ask your guides, ask your higher power, whatever it is. Angels are non-denominational. They do not have a religion. Religion might tell you they have a religion, but they do not have a religion. They are non-denominational. Anybody, even if you don't believe in anything, anybody can ask angels for help. All right. But you don't pray to them though. Okay. You don't say amen at the end. You just say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Because they will tell you they do have their own higher power and they feel that those higher powers are the one to pray to, but not them. You can ask them. You can be very appreciative. Don't forget the thank you, thank you, thank you. Or they're going to be like, you know what? You're ungrateful. I'm out. So, okay. And there's tons of angels. I mean, I know we have our main ones, right? Like Raphael, Gabriel, Michael, Uriel, but there's so many. There's so many out there. I have a whole book that's like this thick that is just about angels. When my aunt passed away, I inherited that and I absolutely love it. Right now, unfortunately, it's just it's a little statue stand because it's so tall, but I do need to get back into that and do some homework. So, ask your angels. There's no need to worry. There's no need to worry. So, you know what? When you have trust, there is no need to worry. I know things don't always happen in the time limit that we want them to happen. you know, but, and I know people will sit there and go, oh, you and your effing divine timing. I know. Trust me. Trust me. I say that. It's like, you, divine timing? Yeah, exactly. Right? Hey, you know what? I don't care. This is my oracle and I'm just all out there when I do this. Okay. You know, I'm not going to hold back. So, but yeah, I mean, sometimes I just want to give, you know, divine timing the big FU because it feels like it takes for frickin' ever. But I have found kind of a little way around that. You see, on the other side of the veil, it's a whole different time set. It's a whole different, it's a time unto itself, and time moves slower there. So what they may think is quick in their time may not be quick in our time. It could take forever, right? So just say, you know, I'm so happy and grateful that this happens, you know, in, you know, my, you know, in human timing, in earth timing. So, you know, I mean, however you want to put that, it's up to you. And again, it still may not happen like that, but when you trust and you believe, you don't stop, you keep moving forward, those big happy changes are going to come. And apparently, romance, right? Romance. This is the first time I think this card has ever come up in this deck. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. You never know. I mean, sometimes I feel like I get readings out of this too. So, you know, it's not just you guys. I mean, I'm doing this for all of us. So let's see. All right. So romance. And it doesn't even mean that romance will be coming into your life. Maybe you already have a partner. So it could just mean maybe, you know, up the ante on your romance. You know, don't always wait for the other person to be the romantic one. Why don't you try to be the romantic one? You know, sometimes I think we get into this mindset that, you know, there's a certain way things are done and that person has to be the romantic and you know, can just sit there and wait for it. But then we get tired and we say, hey, what's happening? Well, maybe they want to be romanticized too, or whatever it's called. You know, so out of the loop on romance. But, you know, maybe they want to see a little bit of romance. Maybe they want to experience a little bit of the romance. So, you know what? It doesn't matter, you know, however you identify. If you have a partner, show them that romance. You don't have to wait for them to do it. You can do it too. Okay? And for all of you who don't have a partner, if you felt the tingles going up your spine or, you know, whatever, this card means hang in there. All right. So we have don't stop. Okay. Keep going, keep moving so you can acquire your big happy changes as long as you trust. When you lose trust, ask your angels for help and they will help you to not worry, because worrying can negate the trust. And who knows, it might bring something very special into your life in the end. All right. So there we go. Those are those cards for the day. So I have the Enchanted Unicorn Oracle. I have the unicorn ones. Sorry. And I have the New Orleans deck. You know, I think I'm going to start with the New Orleans deck today. I have the romance cards too. Yeah, I know. One of these days I'm not going to make that face when I have the romance cards, but somebody told me to pull it today, so I pulled it and ta-da, wow. Alright, let me give it one more shuffle. I usually like to shuffle 3 times in case there's something that is meant to come out. But looks like only 2 today. Only 2, but these are kind of long, so let's see. End of cycle and self-care. This, you know what? These are resonating with me today. I am definitely at the end of this long spiritual awakening cycle that I've been in. But end of cycle. So the end of the cycle and self-care, if you feel like you have been going through some kind of weird personal shitstorm, you're coming to the end of it. You're coming to the place where you're just going to be able to take a deep breath and exhale. But that also requires, sorry, that also requires self-care. You know, I mean, here you see all the chakras. You know, I found out we have so many more chakras than just the main one. These are just like the spinal chakras, right? But, find that alignment, find that balance, you know, give yourself a little bit of time to rest, especially if you're coming out of that. You know, there's a thing called ascension flu that I talked about a couple weeks, last week, I think, which is also like a spiritual awakening. And if you're having these and you feel like you're finally coming to the end, like you just leveled up spiritually, you need a little bit of time to rest. All right. Don't shame yourself on whatever it is you're craving. Don't shame yourself on whatever it is you're eating. Just take a day to enjoy yourself. You know, watch your favorite movies, listen to your favorite music, read your favorite book, sleep if you want to, eat whatever the hell you want to, okay? Because this is you just recalibrating, and your body needs that. Your body needs some you time. It needs some personal attention given to it, okay? So I'm feeling that way today, but we'll get to the self-care card in a second. So the end of a cycle, see, look, what did I say? Shitstorm, right? This is like a big old hurricane that's been rolling through your life. And, you know, here you have the people just kind of moving away from it, but also sitting right in the middle of it, right? While all this stuff is happening around them. So they're sitting there like, okay, we're going to survive this. We're going to handle this. We're going to be okay. All right. And I mean, yeah, there's like some serious turmoil happening in this card, but it's the end of a cycle. You know, sometimes when something comes through, it might feel destructive. It might feel painful. It might feel hurtful. It might feel crazy. But as long as we find a way to balance, as long as we find a way to just find that even place where we can, again, exhale and look back and say, wow, we survived that. I survived that. Then it's going to be okay. These other cards from the angel answers, they're telling you it's going to be okay. Don't stop. Keep moving forward. Trust. There's no need to worry. Everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. All right. So end of cycle. And, you know, let's read about that card before we get to self-care. So let's see. Hurricane Katrina signifies the end of an era in an unexpected and uncomfortable way. The hurricane led not only to the devastation of well-known comforts, but also to the beginning of desired growth and forward movement. Many times it is necessary for things to fall apart in order for them to come together. If this card is shown up in your reading, you can expect that your comfort zones have been shaken up. The good news is that whatever your perception of change or loss is in the situation, there are wishes about to be fulfilled on the horizon. Focus your energy on the things that you do have control over. Move forward step by step instead of trying to create the entire plan in advance. There will likely be things that arise during this time that can be perceived as setbacks. But if you focus on what it is in your power, this experience, while not the easiest, will prove to have a positive outcome. So again, this is kind of just the validation. If you have been through that cycle, or maybe you're starting it now, maybe you're going through that ascension flow, that spiritual awakening, or maybe your whole life has just been upended and you're like, oh, what do I do? Take it one moment at a time. People will sit there and say one day at a time, but sometimes one day at a time is too long. So sometimes you maybe baby steps, right? Or one moment at a time. I know when I get overwhelmed, I just take it one moment at a time. I just try to figure it out, and I don't try to figure out any farther than maybe the next hour. You know, and if you have to, then move it forward to a day. But try not to go any farther in advance than that unless it is something that you are planning for, or some maybe vacation, or, you know, maybe you are going out of town for someone's wedding or something. Those kind of things are understandable when you're planning. But when it comes to our life, when it comes to how we're going to proceed forward, I mean, that card talked about forward movement. This whole deck was created in the wake of Hurricane Katrina. And the author, who's just, I love this deck. This is one of my favorite decks. I mean, she is just, I mean, look at how happy she is. She's just straight up happy. But she created this, she's from New Orleans and created this in the wake of all that happened. And the deck is really New Orleans based. I mean, it's the New Orleans Oracle deck. But New Orleans didn't just stop. They rebuilt their city. They rose up from, well, the wet ashes, really. And they started over. And it's booming again, right? I mean, I know Hurricane Katrina was like, what, 18 years ago? It was like a whole high school graduate lifetime ago. But they didn't stop. They kept moving forward. And yeah, a lot of people moved away, but a lot of people stayed and rebuilt. All right. So self-care. Self-care is not selfish. It is necessary. Now, we talked a little bit about the self-care already. It is so important. It is so important. Now, here it shows your chakras. Here it shows the lotus flower. The lotus flower Is one of the most amazing parts of nature. You know, the lotus flower is this beautiful blooming flower, but it starts out in the depths. It starts out in the muck, in the mud, and then it pushes its way through. It's almost like the metaphor of the butterfly, right? You know, or you go to sleep a caterpillar, and you go through your cycle, you go through this phase or whatever it is you're going through, then you come out this beautiful butterfly on the other side. Well, the lotus flower is very similar, but in the plant world. You know, it starts out in darkness, and then it pushes up and finds the light, and then it blooms. And that's why a lot of times you'll see the lotus flower in the metaphors, in the cards. You know, self-care. Self-care will help you bloom. Self-care reminds you to give yourself self-respect, to take a moment, take a beat, take a breath, to breathe in and exhale. You know, breathe in all the good stuff, exhale all the bullshit, all the crap. You know, that's what this card is about. It's about self-care. It's about taking, not necessarily self-preservation. Self-preservation to me is totally different. Okay, I don't know why that came out of my mouth. I feel like someone's going to say, well, it's like self-preservation. No, self-preservation is just, you know, making sure that, you know, nobody hurts you. Self-care is making sure you're okay. It's taking care of yourself. And yeah, it can lead to self-preservation, but it's actually going to push you, I think, farther. Because you're going to recognize your self-love, your self-worth, your self-respect. And that all comes from self-care. You know, a lot of people will say, we have to experience self-love before you experience self-care. I actually did it the other way. I had to experience self-care before I could find self-love. And my self-love is growing. It's growing a lot. And it feels good. It feels good to feel good in my own body. It feels good to feel good in my own brain. Which doesn't happen very often. Actually, it does. But it does. It feels good to be inside of my head and understanding what's going on in there. You know, I mean, it can be like a barrel of loose monkeys on acid or LSD or, I don't know, tripping monkeys. That's right. Exactly. So, self-care. It is time to put your focus on taking care of yourself in the most basic ways. Pampering yourself with a long bath, taking extra care about the food you put into your body, getting enough rest, and simply taking some time for yourself is recommended right now. I know what I said earlier about just doing whatever you want to do. If you're one of those people who experiences cheat days, don't make yourself feel bad about it. Okay? Healthy food or taking extra care about the food you eat, that can be for the long run. But we are allowed to enjoy ourselves from time to time. We don't have to sit there and punish ourselves every single moment of every single day. All right? I don't believe in that. I don't. Now, when you have health problems or you're trying to be healthier, yeah, it's great to pay extra care to, you know, the food that you eat. But again, don't forget, you can also enjoy yourself. All right? So, you are close to running on empty, and it is taking a toll on you more than you realize. Sometimes self-care can be as simple as learning when to say yes or no at the right moment based on how you feel. Take this time to care for yourself and notice how quickly things start to fall into place in a much more effortless way. So if you're feeling exhausted, you're feeling tired, like I said, maybe you are just coming out of a healing journey or an ascension cycle or a spiritual awakening cycle, take the time you need to relax and take care of yourself. Okay? Just enjoy yourself. Again, watch your favorite movies, listen to your favorite music, read your favorite book, do all three, whatever, go for a drive, whatever, go to the beach, go in the water, whatever makes you happy. Do that for yourself because, you know, it's about relaxing. If you want to go get a massage or get your nails done or get your hair done, it's okay. Go do it. Go enjoy yourself. All right. So let's go to the magical unicorns. I love this deck. It's so happy and it's so vibrant. I mean, look at these cards, right? They're so pretty. They're just so, Let's see what we got here. Wow. Maybe the unicorns have nothing for you. Let's see. Come on, unicorns. What we got for everyone? Nothing? Anything? Whoa. Alright, I think I'm supposed to shuffle from this deck. Alright. I know, this it's interesting because this particular group of cards kept trying to find their way out, but I'm not going to do every single one. So there's got to be a card in here first. There it is. Oh, that's a good one. All right. I feel like there's one more in here. Okay, apparently there's two more in here. Alrighty then. Let's see. Oh, of course, that one must be for me. Exercise. Run, walk, swim, or otherwise move your body. This will give you more energy and happiness. It's not a lie. I do feel great after I exercise. You know what I want to learn? I want to learn yoga, right? I see all these people and how bendy they are and how flexible they are. And I've always wanted to be that way. I'm like the weird person who has like the world's longest arms, but I can't touch my toes. I couldn't even do that when I was skinny. My body just didn't flex that way. And then there's older sibling who just like, you know, can basically put her forehead on her knees. So I know some of the things we're born with and not born with. But, you know, I like this card. Look, the little unicorn traipsing through the daisies. So exercise is a very good thing to have, you know, and nobody's saying you got to go out there and lift 500 pounds or, you know, bench press 500 pounds or leg press 500 pounds. Exercise can be a lot of things. It could be going out for a walk, could be doing yoga, Tai Chi. I love Tai Chi. What little of it I know. I'm also studying Qigong, which is kind of cool. Your Qi, your inner Qi. And, yeah, so there's all different kinds of things. You know, they have chair yoga. If you struggle with, you know, for people who might have chronic pain, there's chair yoga. And again, for those of you who may not be able to just go outside and walk, there's all kinds of exercises that we can do. You know, they have those little bands. I have a little roller wheel, which is kind of cool. They're like weights. But there's squats. There's planking. I hate planking. I am not going to lie, that it's not my favorite thing to do. I belong to a group. Last month was crunches, sit-ups, and squats. This month was planking. They're up to 4 minutes. I'm still stuck at 2 because it's hard. And, you know, it's not that I don't mind it, but I'm not a tiny girl like a lot of the girls in the group. You know, so there's a lot more of me to hold up than they got. But you know what? I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. It is what it is. I do need to get healthier I need to get healthier for my health, my heart. But exercise can be fun. It can be anything you want it to be. It doesn't have to be going to the gym. It could be swimming. Do you like swimming? Go swimming. Take a walk on the beach. I mean, hell, just from the parking lot to the water is a workout, right? You just walk in the sand. It's like, that's its own little workout. So I'm not going to read the card on this because I think it's pretty obvious what this one means. So again, run, walk, swim, or otherwise move your body. One of my favorite things to do is to dance like nobody's watching. That is some of the best exercise I've ever done. And it doesn't feel like exercise, right? You just put on your favorite music and you just go for about 10 minutes. You get that cardio going. And, you know, I usually put about 6 or 7 songs in my playlist and I do them all. So it's like 30 minutes of cardio. And it's fun. And it works out all your muscles. You know, swimming. I love swimming. But, you know, I don't have a pool. So not the easiest thing to do. But yeah, just move your body. That's the most important part of this, okay? Move your body. All right. The reason I laughed was, or the reason I said this was a good card is one step at a time. See? Baby steps, one moment at a time, one day at a time. Lots of little steps make big dreams come true. Sometimes we overwhelm ourselves when we sit there and, again, like they said earlier, try to plan too many things all at once. Like, I got to do this, I got to do this. Oh, it's like 6 months later and nothing's happened because you've overwhelmed yourself. Come up with a plan and take it in baby steps. I'm trying. I just noticed there's like a bunch of stones in this and then like a little fire in the middle. I know, okay, you know, I know some of you know what I'm thinking when I see these stones, but you know, yeah. So this unicorn is telling you just one step at a time. Do you want your dreams to come true? It's okay to make a plan. Make a plan if you have to. All right. But implement a plan that will work for you. We'll use weight as an example, right? Okay, I want to lose like 100 pounds in a month. We all know that's not going to happen. You're not going to lose 100 pounds in a month. But you can make the steps, take the steps, do the baby steps, one step at a time. Okay, one step at a time and move forward. And you will eventually reach your goal. Just like the angel answer card says, don't stop, don't quit, keep moving forward. Trust that it's going to work out because there's no need to worry, right? Those are the cards we've already had. So remember, take it one step at a time. Now, let's read what that one has to say. These cards are just some of my favorites. They are so pretty. They're just so like in your face vibrant. So this card says that you have a big dream, but you may not know how to make it happen. The unicorns want you to know that your dream can come true if you'll focus on taking one small step at a time. If you will just do one or two things a day related to your dream, it will come true more quickly than you can imagine. I love to write. One of the best things I think I can suggest for anyone who loves to write a page a day. Okay, or not a page a day. Well, you can write a page a day or write a chapter a day, you know, or carry around a notebook and write down notes, you know, that way you can, sometimes when you look at your notes, you're like a whole story comes out of it, right? My therapist had me write the story of my life and I finished it. I was writing like a chapter a day for like almost 2 weeks. And then I kind of slowed down a little bit. And I think it was because there was a lot of healing I had to do because it was the story of my life. But the point is, when we take it in one step at a time, when we take it in baby steps, we find a way forward without overwhelming ourselves. All right. So if you will just do one or two things a day related to your dream, it will come true more quickly than you can imagine. You can take small steps to complete any project. For example, if you need to write a report or clean a room, you can focus on one page or one corner of the job at a time. See? Talk about validation, right? Don't think about the whole project. Just focus on the little bit that you're doing right now. Then, once that page or corner is done, you can think about the next page or corner. You can even plan how many pages or corners you'll complete on a calendar to help you plan ahead. Taking one step at a time is a secret way to success. You'll be amazed at how much you can do if you'll take slow and steady progress. Take a moment and think about your project or your dream. Imagine that it's already completed and notice how you feel in your body and your heart. Then ask your angels, what steps should I take right now to make this happen? Notice any thoughts, feelings, words, or pictures that come to you. If you receive a strong message to take action in a positive way, then do so. Remember that every big job or dream can happen if you'll just break it down into small steps and take them. I agree. But remember, when it comes to writing it down in a calendar, if you are a person who gets overwhelmed or just tries to rush through things and think, oh my God, I haven't done this and it's this day already, just put it a couple days ahead at a time. You know, maybe you'll take this corner on this day, this page on that day, this corner on this day, that page on that day. You know, just do it like a work week or just do it over a 7-day span. Do not find a way to overwhelm yourself so that you get stuck back in the corner and you can't find your way out. Okay, and here we go. Finish what you've started. You've started something important, and now it's time to complete it. Now, we'll just use the corner and the page as an example, right? Maybe you're starting to feel overwhelmed. Maybe you're feeling like, oh my God, I just feel like I'm not making any headway. It's okay. Take a step back. Take a break. Give yourself some breathing room. But like I said, when you stop and take a beat, don't grow roots there. Don't grow roots there. That is the worst thing you can do, is growing roots in this spot, because then you're going to get stuck again. And then you got to uproot yourself and try and start all over. And those corners or those pages that you may have done, they could totally be negated at that point. Maybe that corner's filled up again. So I know that sometimes the clutter can get in the way. I know sometimes the buildup of stuff can get in the way, but try not to let it overwhelm you. And I'm speaking to myself on this too. So try not to let it overwhelm you. Just take baby steps, all right? One step at a time, but finish what you've started, all right? Finish what you've started. So let's see what that one has to say. I think that one's pretty obvious, right? Finish what you've started, but we'll read it anyway. So for anybody that's new on here, on Oracle Friday, I give what I see, my message, and then I also read the cards because, you know, like I said, someone took the time to put this book together, so I want to honor that. At the beginning of a project, you feel excited because it's something new and something different. This excitement gives you lots of energy. It also makes you want to spend a lot of time working on the task. But the excitement may fade away, causing you to lose interest. At that point, you may walk away from it. When you have lots of unfinished projects, your mind feels scattered. The unfinished job nags at you, which isn't fun. This card asks you to go back to an important project. You already know which one it is, whichever one popped into your head first, and complete it. The act of finishing something helps you become a more organized person and makes you feel better about yourself. This specific task will also help with your larger goals. That's why it's always important to finish. And it is. All three of these cards really spoke to me. Not fair, but true. And they should speak to us, because I think a lot of times we do get overwhelmed. And so, like I said, when this one says you may walk away, it's okay to take a moment. But, finish what you've started. You don't have to walk away from it completely because you've overwhelmed yourself. When we get excited about tasks, when we get excited about doing things, or we get that motivation going, we really, really feel it, sometimes we will fall by the wayside because we've put so much energy into the beginning that we haven't saved any for the whole run, right? Think about it as like a 5K. You have a person who's never done a 5K before, but they've trained, they've done this, they've done that. They're all, yeah, I can run a mile. Yeah, but what happens when you get to mile 2? A 5K is 3 miles. It's 3 miles. So 3.1 miles. So start off at a steady pace. And then save that energy for the end, for that push through, for that running past the finish line and breaking that, thing or whatever. I mean, every time I've done a 5K, it's just been this big old thing that measures my time. But still, run past that finish line. But, pace yourself. Start off slowly. You may be excited about this project, but you don't want to overwhelm yourself so much with this excitement that suddenly you just peter out and you're done. All right. So give it that time. Now, I know I'm making that face, so you know which deck is coming next. I have a whole set of different rules. See, here are my Oracle guidelines, the ones I read at the beginning. But I have a whole different set of rules for the romance deck. And the reason I have... Oh, hi, Kathy. Kathy is a brand new friend. I met her through another friend on Facebook, and she runs a beautiful site, Trees of Wisdom, or Wisdom of Trees. I'm sorry, Kathy, if I got that wrong. You're welcome to put it in here so people can check out your group if you want them to. It's a private group, but, she accepts you. You're awesome. But yeah, so... The reason I have a whole different set of rules for the romance deck is because I think sometimes we are looking so desperately to fall in love, to be in love, to find out what's going wrong with the love we might already have, that we kind of upend ourselves. We kind of throw ourselves curveballs and all this stuff. So the extra set of rules I have and guidelines I have for the romance deck is, if these cards do not resonate with you, please, 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 just like the other cards, and just like the guideline says at the beginning, do not try to force it. Do not try to force it. Because this is the heart deck. This is the one that's speaking to all those dreams that people have, that desire, that passion, whatever it is that you're waiting for. And again, there's divine timing. Divine timing may not be your favorite thing. It's certainly not my favorite thing. But like I said, just say, can you bring this to me in my timing? I always say sometime before I die, please. But I'm also, I run on sarcasm. So I'm fueled by sarcasm. But yeah, so like I said, when it comes to this deck, please, if it does not resonate with you, do not try to make it fit. All right. And who knows, maybe down the road, it might click in your head and you go, whoa, okay, now it makes sense. Because there would be some people who just go, yeah, the romance deck, keep going. And it might actually happen for them. But I do like to give that extra set of guidelines because I know people, and I have been one of those people who read so far into it, and then you're just sitting there still like a bazillion years later going, well, what happened? Where is it? Where's my love? Where's my thing happening? So just give it some time, give it some space. And I didn't want to finish with this deck. We're gonna finish strong with the enchanted unicorn deck. I've loved that one. So that one's fun too. Okay. I think we got our cards. Oh, we got 3. Look at that. Someone gets a reading. Someone gets a reading. All right, this was the first one. I'll just keep those in order. Number 1, honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Okay. All right. So I'm not going to just put this in terms of love. All right. Maybe you're in the honeymoon phase of a relationship. Maybe you're in the honeymoon phase of a job. Maybe you're in the honeymoon phase of a brand new friendship. Whatever it is, try not to lose that. All right. Everybody always talks about, oh, well, you always see it in the movies, and I see it with some of my friends. Oh, well, everything's different now, and they're all, oh, your honeymoon phase is over. You don't have to have an ending to your honeymoon phase. Okay. Your honeymoon phase can last as long as you want it to. Keep it fresh, keep it alive, keep it sparkling. Okay. The honeymoon phase doesn't have to end. That's mental conditioning. That is, generational conditioning. Okay, saying, oh yeah, well now it's down to business. Now we're married. Well, you married each other because you love each other, right? Or you're in a job because you love that job, but maybe you feel like you've hit a bit of a slow path, this little rough patch that you're in. The friendship that you have may have started out really strong, and maybe they're busy now and you're like, oh, well, what happened? It's okay. You don't always have to wait for someone to ask you to do something. Be the person that asks other people. I talked about this earlier with the Angel Answers deck, right? When it came to romance. If you have a partner, don't wait for them to be romantic with you. You can also be the one that initiates things. So whatever phase you're in anything that it is you're doing, whether it's in love, in friendship, in, a job, find a way to keep the honeymoon phase going. All right. I mean, people always sit there and go, oh my God, how can you two be so in love? La, 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 and you've been married for like a bazillion years. Because they keep the honeymoon phase going. They plan dates with each other. They, if they have kids, they get a sitter, and they trust that they're all going to be alive when they get home. But they go out and have fun, and they pay attention to one another. They communicate. And communication across the board, regardless of what the relationship type is. Communication is so important. Communication is sometimes why people get stagnant, because they stop talking to each other. They stop communicating. They stop telling them what they need. And I will say this, if you are in a relationship, you have to communicate. If there is something that's bothering you, you have to say something. I know a lot of times we sit there and go, well, I don't want the pushback. I don't want the feedback. Then, you don't do it with a tone. I tend to use a tone sometimes, and I feel bad about that. And, I'm not in a relationship, but in like friendships and with my sisters, sometimes I get a tone, even with my dad sometimes. And it's not intentional. It's just sometimes I get excitable when I'm talking about something, or when I'm just, frustrated about something. And I don't know why, but then my voice raises and people think I'm yelling, and I'm not intending to. So sometimes we just have to stop and take a deep breath, catch ourselves, and then, be an adult about it. All right. But communication is so important. So let's see what the honeymoon thing has to say. This is the romance desk, so it may go wholly in a different direction. So enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. This card indicates the need for a getaway to nurture romantic love. The specific application of this message depends upon the person who is inquiring. For some, this card has a literal meaning. You are going away with your new spouse following your wedding. For those already in a long-time partnership, this card speaks to reigniting the spark by taking a romantic holiday. It can also relate to the honeymoon period of a new relationship, and still for others, this card indicates that you will meet someone special while on vacation. Ooh, so if any of you are going on vacation, hubba hubba. So, all right, the next one. Ooh, soulmate. Wait. Oh, that's interesting. They all seem to go together. Yes, this is your soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Now, if you just met someone yesterday, give it a little time before you start deciding this is the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. I admit there are people in this world that know. They will meet their person and both of them just know. But you don't know what people have been through, and you don't want to scare them away. So before you say, oh my God, you kissed me. I've known you for 5 seconds. You're my soulmate. Just be careful. I'm not trying to be cynical. I'm trying to be practical. All right. So, yes, this is your soulmate. But like I said, just chill. All right. Now, the other thing about soulmates, they may not just necessarily be love people, right? It may not just be romantic. I am a firm believer in the fact that we have a lot of soulmates in our lives. Not just the romantic ones, but people. My baby cousin is like my baby sibling. I consider her a soul sister. Older sibling is my best friend. We're both only children, so we migrated together and just, adopted one another as siblings. And, she's like a soulmate to me as well. We have friends who are like soulmates. Our parents may be our soulmates. If maybe you travel in the same circles. Some people travel in the same circles through every lifetime. And they all take on different shapes, forms, and beings in the different lives. But the people that we find closest to us, the people that we realize how this strong connection, those are our soulmates. So they're not just romantic soulmates. So, you may have just met a new friend, right? You're wondering, well, is this somebody I can trust? Maybe you do trust them. Maybe you just feel, totally electric when you're around this person, right? Like, oh my gosh, this person's just like me. We're going to have so much fun. This is like the best friend I've ever had in my life. But then maybe you've had trust issues because maybe people have hurt you in the past. So you worry about whether this friendship is going to happen the same. Go back to the other cards. Take it one step at a time. Build that friendship. Build that relationship. The reason I like to tell people to kind of just slow the roll a little bit when we come to the romance cards is because we'll see things like this. And somebody, may feel like, oh my gosh, this person treats me so much better than everybody else in this world. And maybe it'll work out. Maybe it won't. But when you see a card like this and you come on here and you're like, oh, that's it. That's the person. This is my person. And then it doesn't work out. You stop believing in the magic of what the oracle cards can do. And that's what happens to a lot of people. That's what happens to a lot of people who go out and get readings. I've been very fortunate that the people that have given me my own personal readings have been spot on. And some of the things they talked about actually did happen. But these are oracle cards. They're not prediction cards. They are not your fortune for the next 5 years. This is a path. This is what's telling you is possible. Play your cards right. The person that you're with could very well be your soulmate. But they may open up slower than you do. They may not see it right away like you do. And that doesn't mean they don't care about you. That doesn't mean they don't love you. It just means that maybe they've had problems in the past. Maybe they've been hurt in the past. Maybe they've, come across things that they thought this was the one and it wasn't, and they've been hurt. So nurture that relationship. Have patience, have compassion, have empathy. Just be kind. Don't push people out of their comfort zone or you're going to push them away. All right. So treat your soulmate with, just with love and respect, and communication. All right. So soulmate, this is the one. Sorry. You chose this card because you wonder if a certain person is your soulmate. And the answer is yes. All right. But take it slow. Take it, follow the progression of the relationship. Okay. Don't force anything. Just go with the flow. All right. As we all do, you have many soulmates, beings with whom you share a mystical soul connection and life path. Soulmates incarnate with the plan of coming together for mutual spiritual and personal growth. As you suspected, the person you're inquiring about is one of yours. That sense of familiarity and comfort you felt when you first met also indicates your soulmate bond. This card sometimes comes to those who ask, when will I meet my soulmate? Or will I ever meet my soulmate? As validation that this will occur. Many times this is a person whom you already know, although romantic sparks didn't fly at first. You'll have another opportunity to explore passion together. I actually asked this the other day, so I'm a little excited about this card, not gonna lie. But I also know me, so one step at a time. And actually, it wasn't, is this person my soulmate? It was, will I ever find my soulmate? Or will my soulmate ever find me? So, I've been single for like so long that I could be a nun. So anyways, chemistry. There's a strong magnetic connection here. All right. There's a strong magnetic connection here. I like this card. It's really pretty. So, chemistry. I'm just going to read that one because I feel like we've talked about all of that with the communication, with the first card of the honeymoon period, the soulmate card. So, chemistry. You've received this card because you feel a strong dynamic pull toward another person. In other words, you share chemistry with him or her. This creates intense, pleasurable sensations that draw you to each other. If this person is someone other than your partner in a committed relationship, then the chemistry is probably a source of both stress and escape. You'll need to weigh your options and the consequences carefully before or instead of leaving your current partner or embarking upon an affair. If, however, you are single and feel this pull toward another unattached person, then this card brings you a go-ahead green light of good news. Most likely, the chemistry is mutual and merits exploration. In some cases, this card may mean that a lack of chemistry is a cause for relationship issues and personal discontent. If there was chemistry initially, it may be restored by devoting effort to the relationship. Passion, sparks, and romance can be revived through playfulness, thoughtfulness, time together, and caring gestures. And communication. Call upon the romance angels to guide you as you make important decisions about your channeling this chemistry. So there you go. That was a fun one. I know. I always take a deep, kind of sarcastic breath when I finish that deck. You know what? I just pull these when I'm told to pull these. So there are some decks that I migrate to. I mean, this one and the New Orleans deck, I do quite a bit because they're my favorites. They're my favorites. But I do like the other ones because they're very vibrant and pretty. So the Enchanted Oracle deck, it is, it's by Priestess Moon. So there's more to this deck than just, it's one of my favorite cards. It came out. Oh, I love that one. That one and the Blossom card. But, this deck also has magical spells. So if you are into that, then, which is one of my favorite parts of this deck, then I'm also going to read that part too. Okay, so just, sit tight. Oh, there it is. I knew there was more than one card in here. Alrighty, these can get a little bit long too, so interesting. Alright, so we got 1967. That was the year my parents were married. They got married like 6 years before I came along, but that was the year my parents got married, 1967. And I love this card. Cupcake. I love Cupcake. So cute. So anyways, we'll start with Cupcake. The Body Positive card. The Body Positive card. I kind of covered this a little bit at the beginning, where I said, just go out and enjoy yourself. Do whatever it is you got to do. Self-love is hard to come by. We talked about this with the New Orleans deck, with the self-care. But for me, I started with self-care. And as I started with self-care and I started taking care of my mental health, I started taking care of, just my mental health. Everything else started to fall into place. The self-love, the self-respect, the self-worth, even the self-awareness. The self-awareness actually came on the heels of self-care. Because I had to start coming to terms with where I'm at in this life right now. Am I where I want to be health-wise? No, I'm not. And like I said, I have a repaired heart, so, I was born with congenital heart defect, right? So I'm not dying. I am actually very healthy. But in order to stay there, I know what I need to do. However, I talk about body positivity on every level. When I was skinny, I hated my body. When I gained a lot of weight, I hated my body. And now, I told older sibling, I said, it's kind of weird how I actually had to where I gained all this weight and learned to love myself. And I do. Because this is the vessel I'm running around in. This is the body I've been given to take care of. And I know some people will sit there and they'll say things when you walk by them on the street like, oh, nobody knows what I'm doing. They may say, oh, well, they don't take care of themselves. But you know what? I also struggle with a dinged up mental health. I struggle with emotional eating. You know, there are people out there with eating disorders that struggle with their, and you know, you'll have, and on the flip side, you'll have people who might be on the plus side going, how can she have body positivity? Maybe they've struggled with their weight their whole life. Maybe they've always been a certain size their whole life, you know, the plus size, and they'll think, how can someone that small, you know, have body issues? Well, I tell you, there's people I know that have lifted weights, who were, you know, had the best optimal shape, who hated their bodies. They had like the worst body dysmorphia. Like whatever they had wasn't enough. There had to be more and more. And that starts from up here. Okay? And it really, what it starts with is what you're talking about. One of the favorite things I like to say Monday through Thursday. Monday through Thursday, I do different subjects. I have mindfulness, Tuesday thoughts, things to think on Thursday, self-care Wednesday. But no matter what subject line, when we come into this kind of subject, you know, where we're talking about, you know, your mental health, you're talking about your physical well-being, I truly believe that what you say is what you're going to hear, what your brain is going to process, and what you're going to end up seeing. So what you say is what you hear, what your brain is processing, and what you're going to see. So if you're constantly putting yourself down and you're constantly negating all the positive things that someone may have just told you, maybe someone says, oh my God, you know, you look amazing today. And, you know, you're thinking, well, they're just saying that because I'm this size or that size, or I'm not big enough, or I'm not small enough. How can I be attractive to anybody? Or, you know, when somebody compliments you and you go home and you go, oh, I hate you. I don't know how they see that, because I don't see it. You just negated all the good things. You just told your brain that that person was lying to you. And that person may not have been lying to you. That person may have been 100% honest with you. I will tell you this. If you know me, or if you ever meet me down the road, I will not give a compliment I do not mean. Everything that comes out of my mouth in a positive way, in a positive manner, in a complimentary manner, I mean it. Because I know how important it is to let people know. I will stand in an elevator, and if somebody smells delightful, I'll be like, oh my God, I don't know what you're wearing, but it smells amazing. You know, I've kind of had to rework it because I don't want to get sued, because sometimes you'd be like, oh my gosh, you smell so good. You know, or I like your shoes, or I like your outfit. Someone may have struggled putting something together that morning, and then one person comes along and says, hey, that is like the best outfit. You know, and to get the compliment, it reinforces them. So if somebody is reinforcing you in a very positive way, do not go home and negate it. Love yourself. Do you see this unicorn right here? Do they look sad that they're plump? Do they look sad that they're sitting on a rainbow? Do they look sad that they're eating a cupcake? No! This unicorn is like, F you people, I'm in my comfort zone. I'm delightfully happy right now. And look at me. Look at me. I'm about to be bliss-filled by eating this pretty cupcake. Because I love myself. I have self-love. So no matter what size you are, if you struggle with body positivity, this card is telling you just to love yourself. Don't worry about what you think other people see. Other people will always have an opinion. One of my favorite quotes that have gotten me through my own healing journey, that I've really had to remember over the course of this long path I've been on. What other people think of me is none of my business. What other people think of me is none of my business. And it's not. Because like I said, you know what? I'm going to say it because, you know, I got a mouth on me too. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Okay? That's exactly what an opinion is. And an opinion is just that. It's not a fact. It's just somebody's thought. And, you know, maybe they're hurting. Maybe they're not happy with themselves. So they feel like they got to tear everybody else down to make themselves feel better. So in that case, just, you know, don't feel sorry for anybody. Feeling sorry for people doesn't help them. But just try to be compassionate. Okay, so Sweet Cherry. Sweet Cherry is our cupcake. She's so cute. I might keep that card out for the week. Sometimes I'll find a card that I just absolutely love, and I'll keep it out for the week because I love it. So the divination for this card. The cupcake unicorn appears when your body's size and weight has been playing on your mind. Self-acceptance is the key. This card asks you to lift yourself up from negative judgments that have been created around the size and weight of the physical body. This is the body positive card. Let go of saying I have to fit into this and I should weigh less. Let go of feelings of shame because of your size. If you are kind and thoughtful and healthy, if you make the most of your appearance and keep yourself clean and comfortable, there is no point in worrying about your weight. You do not judge others on their physical size. Why do you judge yourself? If you are kind to others, why not be kind to yourself as well? There's no such thing as taking up too much space. You are perfect just the way you are. Just as there is a certain height and eye color of the body is born with, there is also a certain weight your body likes to be. End the struggle and give your body the credit it deserves for keeping you healthy and alive. Make peace with this amazing body temple you were given to enjoy your journey here on earth. Now, I will tell you this. People will sit there and go, oh my God, I weigh this, that, or the other. Dieting is the worst thing you're ever going to do. I'm going to tell you that now. I tell people this a lot when I do my regular show during the Monday through Thursday, that when I went back to therapy a few years ago, and I graduated from there and then I restarted a couple weeks ago. But my first therapist in years told me, the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is I am banning you from dieting. Because that also messes with your mental psyche. You lose weight and you're not working on what's going on in here. So then maybe you're like me and you emotionally eat and you gain it all back. Plus some. I went on a program the year my mom was dying from cancer. And I did it for her because she was so worried about me and she wanted to make sure that I get to live this healthy, wonderful life. And I'm telling you, not only did I gain that weight back, I gained twice that weight. That's right. And here I am today. But I have decided to stop being mean to myself. I've decided to stop putting myself down. If I don't fit into a mold that somebody wants to fit into, then they don't need to, traipse through my life. I'm not going to always be this size. I'm actually losing weight as we're speaking. But for me, it's about getting healthier because I do need this heart and I need to make sure that I start giving back to it. It has kept me healthy and alive, so it's my turn to give back to it and make it work less hard. But whether you're thick or thin, if you struggle with your body positivity, I am telling you, start loving yourself. Start showing yourself that self-love. Start speaking kindly to yourself. My cousin Trez gave me this great tip. Okay. Bathroom mirrors and dry erase markers. That's right. Bathroom mirrors and dry erase markers. Her and her husband leave each other cute messages. I don't know if they still do. I haven't been to her house in a while. But they used to leave cute messages on each other's mirrors, with these dry erase markers. And I actually do that now. I put positive affirmations. I have a heart right where I brush my teeth, right where I know I'm going to see myself brushing my teeth. And it reminds me to love myself. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes we are going to fall down and we're going to trip. But get up where you fell. Okay, get up where you fell. If you sat there and said, oh my God, I'm this, that, or the other, just say, you know what? No, that's not true. I'm a beautiful, smart, kind, wonderful human being. And, I have people around me that prove these things, who love me just as I am, no matter whether I'm thick or thin, short or tall, blonde or brunette, whatever. They love me because they don't love you because of what you look like on the outside. They love you because of what you come from on the inside, where you're coming from. Because you're putting a light into this world. All right. So the unicorn magic for this. Ask the unicorns to find you the perfect outfit. Imagine the beautiful rainbow light of the unicorn spirits attracting an item of clothing to you that makes you feel like $1 million, fits well, and is very flattering. Be open to receiving a gorgeous piece of fashion just because, and know that you don't need to wait until you are a certain size to look your best. You can look your best right now. You can even find jewelry, right? All those wonderful things. So, cupcake. I'm keeping cupcake out for the week. Cupcake makes me happy. 1967, break your routine. Break your routine. So we were just talking, I think that these two go together because we're talking about breaking the mental cycle of negativity. Breaking the mental cycle of negativity and saying to ourselves, you know what? Right. This is how I want to feel about myself. And it's not always easy, especially when you are so conditioned to speaking negative about yourself. The one thing you can do for yourself is just try to start being positive. That's why I said, get the dry erase markers, put these little notes on your mirror, and remind yourself daily. You know, I can't tell you how many sticky notes I have all on my wall. Everything that you can't see behind this camera. You can see the books behind me, but you can't see all the other stuff over here. You know, the little note I wrote to myself: Shelley Marie, you deserve to be happy, or I choose to be happy. Trust yourself. I trust myself. I am unlimited in my own ability to create good in my life. I have the Lakshmi card from the guides card, the spiritual guides deck. This bright future. Stop worrying. Everything's going to be fine. I have a stack of notes over here. You know, I believe in my powers and my gifts. I am here. I am blessed. I have my Reiki principles over here. You know, so these are things I do every day, and I still kind of stumble from time to time. These are my vision boards. These are the things that are reminding me. You know, I have a big note that sits at the top of all the stuff that my mom wrote me. My mom was really into scrapbooking and crafting, and she made me this beautiful card for my 40th birthday. And it was the last big birthday I would ever have with her. I always wonder because I just turned 50, I always wonder what she would have come up with for that birthday. But she's reminding me, you're an amazing human being. Don't stop being that person. And it doesn't matter my size. It doesn't matter your size. You know, like I said, body positivity does not have a body size. It's up here. So like I said, you could be super skinny, or you could be super plus sized. And there are people who are super skinny and super plus sized who just love themselves because they know who they are. They know they shine from the inside out. You know, but thick or thin, body positivity runs the whole gamut. It runs from one end to the other. So just love yourself. But again, break that routine, break that negative cycle, because it's not doing you any good. It's not helping you. It's not progressing you forward. It's really holding you back. And you deserve better. So let's see. This card takes us back to the heady days of the late 1960s, kicked off by the Summer of Love in 1967 and culminating in the iconic Woodstock Festival of 1969. Between these 2 years, many in the Western world began to break free from convention and stuffy societal rules. It was a moment started by young adults who questioned the status quo and sought freedom of expression. They challenged outdated ideas and attitudes by growing their hair long, wearing outrageous fashions, and experimenting with sex, drugs, and rock and roll. They rebelled against authority. It was an intoxicating... Good Lord, all of a sudden I can't read. It was an Oh my God, you guys, I'm so sorry. Let me try that again. It was an intoxicating time that didn't last, but it did lay the groundwork for new and exciting ways of looking at life and encouraged a more open-minded, less restrictive society. Individuality and self-expression are now openly supported in most Western countries. Protests can bring about real and lasting change, and people in the Western world are free to find their own form of spirituality without having to kowtow to old-fashioned conventions. Well, sometimes. The 1967 unicorn appears when life has been dull and routine. It encourages you to try something different and blast a fresh energy into your daily life. Explore an idea that seems outrageous to you, but that you've always wanted to try. You need to pick yourself up out of the daily grind and see life from a different perspective, one that helps you break free from the herd. I will admit, older sibling and I are quite a few years difference in age, so although she was literally still a child during this time of, the Summer of Love to Woodstock, she was a flower child. I still see her as being one. She's very, peace and love. It's, if she ever gets mad, there's a reason, because it doesn't happen that often. And, and she's really helped me to really just kind of calm down in life. She's literally the only person in the world that can tell me to calm down and I don't lose my shit. So, because that is a trigger for me. Just calm down. But, she'll just say, just calm down, take a deep breath, and, it's good to have those kind of people in our lives. It's good to have those people who show us how to break that routine. And so what I like about this card is, again, I really feel like Cupcake and, you know, this plant. What kind of plant is this? The happy-go-lucky Gerberas. See? The happy-go-lucky Gerberas. They're telling us, you know, just enjoy life. You know, just break your cycles, break the monotony of the day. You know, break the monotonous train of thoughts. You know, fill your head with joy and with love. Are we going to have bad days? Hell yeah, we're human. Nobody has a perfect day every single day. But it's how we recover from these things. It's how we deal with these situations. It's how we step away, take a step back and say, okay, wait, let me just gather myself before I go crazy. You know, break that mundane cycle. Sometimes we go crazy and we get angry and we get frustrated because we're not living the life we want to live. And then we take it out on everybody else. Everybody else becomes the victim of our inability to move forward and have a good life. Our inability to move forward. Cousin Jeannie's on. Good morning. So yeah, I mean, I'll admit, all right, if 1967 was, again, the year my parents got married. Now, again, it took them 6 years to have me. 5.5 years, whatever. 1967 to 73. All right, but without that sparkle, without that magic, without that 1967, there would be no me. You know, think about it that way. Two people loved each other enough to bring you into this world. Two people loved you enough to raise you and keep you and take care of you. That right there should make you feel important. That right there should make you feel loved. And my cousin Jeannie's right. It is how we deal with things. How we deal with certain situations, you know, is how we progress forward. If you get mad about something, you know, if you're like me, like yesterday was not my best day. And I kind of lost my shit a little bit. And then I felt guilty for the rest of the day. I felt bad for the rest of the day. And, you know, even with apologies, I felt guilty. And then I realized, you know what? This is just a moment. So be better the next time. Deal with it better the next time. Every so often we're going to fall apart. I'm human. You're human. And, you know, yesterday I hit a bump. And I didn't handle things the way I probably should have. I didn't handle it with a peaceful mind. I didn't handle it with a peaceful voice. I just, you know, something was said to me that really kind of triggered me and it really hurt my feelings. And instead of saying, hey, you know what, that really hurt my feelings, I just came out guns blazing. Like, are you effing kidding me right now saying that to me? It's like, that is so hurtful and disrespectful. But what problems did that solve? It didn't. Not because of what I said, because of how it made me feel, but because of how I said it. Instead of coming in with flowers and love, or peace and love, I came in with, oh yeah, okay, let's go. Let's do this. Let's throw down. Meet me behind the school at 3:00. That never solves a problem. All right, so remember Cupcake, and remember 1967. That was before my time, but still. Break your routine. Okay, break your routine. Oh, I forgot to do the unicorn magic part. Ask the unicorns to give you courage to try something new and exhilarating. Go to a music festival, join in a protest rally, or book a holiday to an exotic place. Undertake a spiritual retreat or enjoy an impromptu long weekend. Learn how to skipper a boat or skydive from an aeroplane. They couldn't say airplane, an aeroplane. All right, I know. Party late at a popular nightclub or get up early to watch the sunrise. Wear something you wouldn't normally dream of wearing or dramatically change your hairstyle. Do whatever you need to do to feel alive again. I'm not going to lie. My hair is an absolute 100% mess today, but I'm kind of loving it. I'm not going to lie. My hair is it's in this really awkward phase right now. So, yeah, it's in a really awkward phase right now. So I just, whatever. I'm like, it's Oracle Friday. Let's look like a fortune teller. So, I hope those cards helped. Remember what we talked about at the very, very beginning, okay? Trust. Don't stop. There's no need to worry. Those were the three most important cards in those angel answer cards that we got. All right. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day today. Go into the weekend feeling, feeling good about it. Just watch yourself this weekend. Watch your tone. Watch the words that come out of your mouth. If something, kind of sparks your ire, all right, or if something just triggers you, just take a step back, take a deep breath, and handle it in a respectful manner. Do your best to be kind. Do your best to just, sometimes we just have to let things roll off our back. We don't always need to be right. Okay, we don't always need to be right. Even when we are right, we don't always need to preach to the world that we are. So, oh, thank you, Kathy. I'm glad. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's our first live together. So, yeah, I'm here every Friday for Oracle Friday. And again, for everybody else that watches, I'll be back Monday. I'm deciding between Monday Musings and Mindfulness Monday. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet. I got the whole weekend to think about it. I'll probably come up with Manic Monday. I don't know. Whatever. But I'll see you back here Monday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. That's California time. Facebook Live. All lives are public. Anybody can watch, whether we're friends or not, under Shelly Marie Lucas. I also upload these to YouTube on my Facebook page, The Aloha Perspective, and my YouTube page, The Aloha Perspective, and my Facebook page, The Aloha Perspective, and on Twitter. So, I love you too, cousin, and you enjoy your weekend as well. And I love Jeannie. Jeannie makes me smile. She just said I made her smile, but you both make me smile. All of you. Thank you all for joining me today. Have a great, great weekend, everyone. Have a safe weekend, and remember, be kind to yourself. What you say is what you hear. It's what you process, and it's what you're going to see. So make sure it is something kind. Have a great day, everyone.